Welcome everyone to the second episode of the ManscapePodcast. We got a long-time real OG in the house with us tonight. This guy is very well known across social media. Give a warm ManscapePodcast welcome to my boy Hammy. Hammy, what's good, my guy? How's your day been?
Well, brother, man, it's been a day. I got drugged to a craft fair. My wife made me go to Hobby Lobby, and then I got to come home and go to work. So, yeah, it was nice.
Well, that's fun times. How's the eyes healing up?
Not.
What's going on? Give us an update.
My retina detached, and the doctors reattached it.
Mm-hmm.
But now I've got a scar tissue and a cataract in that eye, so it's whatever.
Do they got any set time when everything's going to be back to normal?
Eventually.
How long are they looking out before it goes back? Do you have any idea?
So I go back the 23rd, and they're gonna look at it and see when we go back in to do surgery again. So
okay,
here pretty
soon. You
soon.
still have a long time ahead of you.
Yeah, another couple of months.
What's that like being at work and all that with your eyes and everything? Does it affect your job much?
There's restrictions. Like I wasn't allowed to lift so many pounds for however long, and I'm not allowed to drive power equipment and stuff for a little while. But I mean, other than that, it's just going and doing it.
Don't worry, bro. I can relate. The doctor said I'm not allowed to go to the bathroom alone because I'm not allowed to do heavy lifting.
There you go. Okay. Always one. First liar doesn't have a chance. Okay.
So where are you from? I kind of got a general idea. Like I got you on my snap, but where are you from?
So I'm from Arkansas,
What's
which
that like out there? Is it like really country hick redneck out there?
wow, that's offensive. No, just at my house.
Let's go.
Not horrible. It's real southern, It's southern United States, so it's about as country hick as you'd imagine. It's like Texas but green.
What was life like for Hammy growing up?
Well, it was life, man. I don't know. It was woke up one day, I was born, and now I'm here.
Yeah. Let's go with that. I love that. What was it like going through school? Were you a good kid? Were you bullied? Were you in trouble at all?
So my old man, my dad was a truck driver. My mom was a school teacher. So I got in my fair share of trouble, and
Okay.
I got out of my fair share of trouble. But I don't know, man. It was life. Like I don't know that it was any harder or worse than anybody's. I was super smart. I had good grades.
Oh, wow.
Right? You sound surprised. You make it sound like I'm a dumbass.
No, it's just from what I see on your social media. That's all I deep dived all your TikTok yesterday.
No, man, I was going to graduate with a bunch of college credits, and I would have been in like my sophomore year of college when I left high school. But I messed up. I got in some trouble. Would have been my sophomore, my junior year of high school. Little whatever. I grabbed a felony as a kid, and I missed some school because of it, and I failed a semester of Algebra 2, and they wouldn't let me graduate without it, even though I took trigonometry and pre-calculus. And yeah, I was petty. I was shitty. Instead of going to summer school and instead of going to summer school and making it up, I went in, I fucking dropped out, and I went the next day and got my GED.
Nice. So first
Not
things
nice.
fucking last. Let's wind back like a few years. Man, I have followed you like for years, like 5-6 years. I've followed you. And
Hello.
when I remember the first time you liked one of my videos, like, holy shit, like Hammy's actually seeing something I'm doing. Like, and then you followed me. I was like, he actually knows who I am. Like, this dude's got a huge following and he knows who I am. Like, are you serious? And I still remember you added me on Snapchat one day. I still remember the first message I sent you. I'm like, is this like Hammy, like the Hammy that's adding me right here? Like, and you're just like so chill. You're so chill. You're like, yeah, what's good, brother? Like, how's your day? I was like, this dude's an OG. Like, I've been looking up to this dude a long time. Like, he's such a cool, down to earth person, you know? Like, and when I started, like, you and I have never really gotten a chance to sit really, like, hang out and chat and chop it up, you know? So, like, when I started this podcast, you're one of the people that I really want to get on here, like, really pick your brain and find out who is Hammy and what's Hammy really about.
Well, I mean, I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed, but I'm no, man. I remember the first video that you I don't even know that you tagged me in it. You used my audio for something, and I saw it, and I was like, all right, that's cool. Well, you did it like another time or two after that, and I was like, fuck that. If this dude's that cool about using my shit, like, I'll follow him. Hell yeah. And
then I tossed you in a couple of my riding videos I used to do.
Yeah.
Like, you've been badass OG, bro. Like, you're one of the people I look up to on that platform, not gonna lie. You were telling me you were telling me the other day about your diabetes. How long have you been diabetic? Like, were you born with it, or?
Technically, yeah. I didn't find out until I was 11 that I was a diabetic. So, I mean, the last 20 years, whatever, I've been dealing with it.
You gotta take insulin and all that every day, or what's that like?
Yeah, so I've got type 1. I'm insulin dependent. I wear an insulin pump. You know,
Okay.
it's always inserted, always on. I take it off when I shower and shit. And yeah.
So you're saying you take off, like, do you gotta inject a needle every time you take it on and off?
No, so it's a hold on, I'll take it off. It's a little pump like that, and it screws on and off.
Oh,
so
neat.
I can, like, if I'm gonna go swimming or something, I take it off, or like if I'm taking a shower, or if I'm doing something a little strenuous, you know, like in the bedroom with the wife or whatever, it comes off.
Has it changed your life much overall?
Oh God, yeah. So that's part of the reason why I'm in such shitty health now. You know, in being in the motorcycle lifestyle and the club lifestyle and everything else, even as a kid, I wanted to be like everybody else. You know, I wanted to drink and do extracurriculars and have a good time, not realizing that it was going to have a harder effect on my body than it would on like a normal person's.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm in my 30s and I'm paying for it. And yeah, I could have been a lot smarter about it.
You're telling me about, like, being EMS and fire. Like, do you ever go through or see anything crazy doing that?
I've seen a lot of stuff that was crazy.
Does it cause PTSD?
Oh God, yeah. I had a really bad call after being in a couple of years. It was around the time my son was born. He was probably 6 months old at the time, and worked a deal where a kid had died, and that messed me up for a long time. Like, I would hear shit and see shit that wasn't there, and would panic about my own kid, and it wasn't a good time. It really fucked me up. And there's still there's some nights I'll have a dream or something, and it's so fucking real that shit sticks with you. It really messes with you. They don't talk enough about PTSD and fire and EMS. You think about it with like military guys and stuff, and what they have to go through and the things that they see, and it's the rates as high, if not higher, in fire and EMS. It's horrific shit. I mean, we signed up to deal with, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What made you want to go down that road and get into that?
Well, so I got really sick. Like have to go to the hospital sick, and they the guys from my local fire department and that came out, you know, they brought an ambulance service and they took me. I just thought it was so fucking cool. I was 18 at the time. As soon as I got out and I was better and whatever, I went straight to the firehouse and I was like, "Hey man, I want to do this. This is something I really want to be a part of. What can I do?" And I joined the volunteer fire department, and then I stayed on the volunteer fire department for the next 7 years. They sent me to the fire academy.
They paid for all that?
Yeah, that's where I got my like firefighter 1 and 2 and all of that stuff. And it was a really cool experience. At one point I wanted to be a paid fireman. I wanted to like live in a big city and be one of those guys that worked Panama shifts where you live at the fire station, and then and yeah, it never happened because I wasn't willing to move. So I stayed on a volunteer department.
Would you ever go back to it?
I'm too fat for that shit now. No, I would. I absolutely would. I don't know. Like obviously I wouldn't be like search and rescue anymore. I wouldn't be like making entry into a house with a hose or anything. But I would definitely go back. I would be on an attack crew and like fight fire outside the house, or even be like Fado, like fire apparatus driver operator, just driving trucks and tankers and stuff. I would do that, yeah.
So I've heard bits and pieces of this story, but how did you get the name Hammy?
So through that fire department, touchy subject now, but I got involved with a motorcycle club, and it was a fire EMS club. And as I was coming up through that club and going the prospect probate period, you know, people were getting to know me, you know, things about me. I was always like Johnny on the spot, like a really go-getter. Like if somebody needed something, I was the one to go get it. You know, if you needed something done, I would go do it. So much so that, like, have you ever seen Over the Hedge, the cartoon?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, there's a little squirrel on this fucking cartoon that's like methed out, that's always running all over the place, and he does this whole like the cookie thing, and that's how I was. I was just constantly bouncing off the walls and doing what was asked of me. So the name Hammy kind of stuck.
Now, did I see, like, I think it was you that I saw from the videos, you had some kind of doll or stuffed animal that you had strapped to your bike and, like, it would get passed around?
Yeah, so we had a part of the thing in that club was if you fucked up, you had to do something stupid. You had to carry this stuffed monkey around everywhere you went. And I fuck up a lot. So that thing like lived with me for years straight. Even when I became an officer and was pursuing a national officer seat and trying to grow that club, it stayed with me. Yeah.
How did you get into the motorcycle community? Like, what was your first taste or like dip the toe into it?
When I was a kid, my dad always had a bike. And him being a truck driver and the guys that he hung around like that, those two things like went hand in hand. As far as the community, like club wise, the fire department would have been my first taste, because a lot of those guys that I was on the fire department with, they had an MC that was firefighter EMS based. And that's how I got into that club, was going in, being with those guys, working on the department, and then getting off and sharing that same brotherhood in the motorcycle club.
What was your very first bike?
My first motorcycle was actually my dad's. It was a 1984 Honda CM 450.
I bet that thing probably had
And
a kickstart back then.
it had some shit to it. It still had an electric start, but for a 450, it would shit and get. Like, you could do triple digits on it. It'd be redlined. I mean, you almost blow it up. But I could keep up with guys on, 1500s, doing 105 down the interstate.
Mm-hmm. Let's kind of get into some biker stuff in the motorcycle community for a few minutes. Why did the twins make a video about you?
Because they're fucking retarded.
You're not wrong, bro.
So here's what I got from it. I don't know if anybody saw that video. It was only up
before I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it was only up for like an hour. Basically, they thought I was affiliated with a club that they don't like and they talk a lot of shit on because they can't read like who I'm with, who I support, And after they realized that, they took it down. And I was so ready to clap back because I had all the clips from Judge were like talking about how they don't know how to read. They had these special classes. They're whatever, don't know, that they were just stupid is the way they made it sound. And as soon as I got ready to post, they took the video down. And I was like, man, they don't need any more attention. Fuck that.
What does real brotherhood mean to Hammy?
Damn. Huh. See, you're gonna make me laugh, and then you're gonna like bring me in and make me cry. That sucks. Okay. Real brotherhood is when I was leaving the motorcycle club that I was with after 10 years. I knew I was in the right. I knew everything I had done to try to save it was in the right. The guys that left with me, that never questioned what I was doing, that backed me 100%. And to this day that I talk to them every day, they're still the best guys that they could be. That's real brotherhood. Like going through the shit together and still finding that little bit to be happy about, that little anything you need, I got you and help you. That's real brotherhood, man. Having guys that you don't even have to ask for help with something that you don't, that know that you're going through some shit. If they see you struggling, whether it's physically, whether it's mentally, they're there. That's real brotherhood. And being able to drop what you have to help out your brother, your fellow man, without asking for anything, without needing anything, is about as real as it gets.
That's awesome. So, is there a difference between bro and brother?
Absolutely a difference between bro and brother. A bro is an acquaintance. A bro is somebody you don't really know, but that you know their name, you see them, I don't call just anybody brother. And I've never called just anybody brother. That shit's reserved for people that I genuinely care about, that I value their opinion, their life, their everything. If I see somebody that I'm not really close with, that I may know, that I may like, I'll hit him with that. Hey, what's up, bro? But brothers, like, that's some true brotherhood shit. I'm not gonna call you brother if you're not one, and if I call you brother, then you are.
There's being you're from that community and you're also really big on social media now. Why does snitching seem so socially acceptable these days?
Because people are chicken shit. That's why. Snitching seems socially acceptable because people are chicken shit, and because rather than take the fall for something that happened or answer for their own actions and take those repercussions of those actions, they would rather shift that blame to somebody else to save their own ass than to answer for what they did or to answer for somebody else, because they'd rather bring somebody else down than be the only one that got in trouble or whatever for it.
Mhm. I'm not going to say no names and point no fingers, but you probably know who I'm talking about. Why does Out Bad seem okay now? Like, I see guys hopping around, going out bad from one spot and going to a different one and being perfectly fine.
For the same thing, like you said, for snitching, because somebody will get out bad and then they'll go to this other club who's not going to look at it like, oh, well, you got kicked out of this place, we don't want you here, and they will run their mouth about the club that they were just with to that club and tell all their deep dark secrets and all the shit, that they know about them, and they'll take them in because of it until it happens to them. And then when they go to that next club, it's the same thing. They'll talk all that shit about the two guys they had just been with, and so on and so forth.
So everything we've just talked about in the last few minutes, what do you think of these guys that are getting out bad and jumping on podcasts and shows and basically snitching out their old brothers in their old club?
Well, I've got nothing for them. There was a guy, and I'm not gonna say any names. It rhymes with Riddler, and I watched that dude sit there and run his mouth about the nation that he had been with, guys that put clothes on his fucking back, that took care of him. And then when the thing that got me was the dude very obviously turned around and snitched out to the fucking cops because
I heard he made a deal.
Oh, absolutely. He disappeared and some other guys went down. He made a deal. But he kept saying before that, when people were calling him a snitch, he's like, I'd never snitch. When have I ever said anything about...
I watched him.
Yeah. And he just kept saying, like, I would never, when have I ever done that? Well, motherfucker, you went on these podcasts and you might not have been talking to cops. You might not have been talking to the feds, but you were talking at them. Like, those same people watch the same podcast that we watch. They got that information the same fucking way I got it.
Yep.
Like, fucking annoying.
So, speaking of fucking annoying, do you think Sons of Anarchy had a big effect on the motorcycle community?
Absolutely. And it was great. No, I really think it was. So a lot of people don't agree with this view. A lot of people fucking hate it because they're like, oh, well, SOA came out and it ruined the MC community. It ruined the lifestyle. I don't think it did. It did the exact same thing that Easy Rider, that all this stuff back in the day did for a different generation. You had kids that were watching SOA and suddenly they're hearing about stuff they've never heard of, about motorcycle clubs, about whatever. And they absolutely wanted to be a part of that. Now, granted, there was some bad with it. A lot of pop-up clubs fucking showed up around that time because everybody wanted to have a motorcycle club. But it brought a lot of people to a lifestyle that they would have known nothing about any other way.
So you just said something that made me think of a question I do want to ask, so that I didn't write down. You said a lot of clubs start popping up. What do you think of guys that don't want to prospect, so they go start their own club?
I think they're lazy. To be honest, I think they're lazy. And the sad part is it's a lot more work to fix that club than it would be to prospect for somebody else, because you're not going to make a brand new club that's different from anybody else at this point. There are
Mhm.
millions of trillions of whatever MCs that represent everything, you're not going to come up with something original. There's a club out there that's
Right.
exactly like what you want.
So, mhm. Go ahead.
It just, I don't know, like you could do a little bit of time, a little homework, a little legwork and find that club. But if you don't want to do the work to be a part of it, why would anybody want to do the work to be a part of yours? It doesn't make
Exactly.
sense to me.
I was deep diving your TikTok the other day. I saw you have a bunch of tattoos. You want to tell us about some of them?
Sure. I don't know. Pick a spot and ask me a question about a piece on my body, and I'll tell you about a tattoo on it.
Is Cash your son's name? Is that where that came from? I saw Cash and something else on the other side.
So Cash is my son's name.
That's awesome.
On my
Love
chest,
that.
I've got Cash on the left side over my heart. That's my firstborn. Um, and then on the right side, I've got Nash, which is my stepdaughter.
Okay.
And I mean, she's as near and dear and as close to my heart. And I wanted to have her on there the way that I have him on there. So I, yeah, I've got my
What
kids
is that
tattooed on my
around your neck?
chest. So there is, there was a writer. His name's Hunter S. Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool dude. Wrote Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He wrote some other books, The Rum Diaries. There's a quote in that though that he's talking about somebody else, and he said, "Too weird to live, too rare to die." And I've
Mm-hmm.
always said that about myself. Like I'm not cookie cutter enough to fit in with the rest of the world, but I'm not fucking outcasted enough to be taken out of it,
Yeah.
So that's always been my quote, and I got it tattooed around my neck.
Do you have any tattoos you look at and like you regret or just think that was a dumb idea?
I got one. Because I had my ex-wife's name on my neck,
Mm-hmm.
and I got it covered up. Um, Now I've got a great big club tattoo on my arm
Mm-hmm.
that I don't know. I'm looking to do something with it. It just
Are you
I
just
don't
gonna
know what
put
yet.
outdate underneath?
I thought about that, or doing like a stamp over it that says like void in big red letters,
Yeah, I see guys doing that.
But I don't know. I kind of want to just cover it up because it's a great big ass gorilla head, and that club shut down.
Oh, wow.
There was a lot of shit that went on. We didn't just leave for no reason. There was a lot of
Yeah.
fuckery and whatever. And shortly after we left, it all came to light. We had
Damn.
tried to expose it to the members at the time, and it all started dropping. There was some shit that happened where it turns out that there was a pedophile in that club. Never
Oh
would have guessed that he.
shit.
Yeah, the president, to be matter of factly.
What?
And after he got exposed and they took him to jail, it took him maybe a year and that club shut down 100%. Um, I busted my ass. I worked up from a patch member to a sergeant, climbed the ranks, made it up to vice president, and then I had what would have been our national table.
Yeah.
I was the guy. The president was fucking lazy piece of shit. He was scared that something was going to happen. I was crossing state lines and going and meeting guys and meeting with clubs and getting chapters set up in different states, and we were
Yeah.
expanding. And we had reached what four states. We were one state away from having an actual national status,
Oh, wow.
and all of this shit. It started going on. We got called to a meeting because he had been running his mouth about somebody, and
That's never
I
good.
went. I was told to handle it, or it'd be my ass with his. I took that information back to the club, and he said, "So what?" The club said, "We don't care. We're gonna back him." Um, he did some dictator shit. I reached out to the other states, the other chapters.
Mhm.
Everybody voted him out, and he pulled some fucking Wolf of Wall Street shit and was like, "We ain't fucking leaving." Uh,
Damn.
and yeah, we left after that because I was like, dude, it's not worth staying and taking an ass whooping over this. I said, I'm not dying because he's a stubborn piece of shit. Like, I've done everything I can, spent the last 10 years of my life to grow this fucking club. I said, we went from a fire EMS club to a traditional MC, and we have been pushing and working to get a diamond and to become a national known MC. And he's going to shoot it all in the fucking foot. I don't want to be here. And that was one of the hardest things I've ever done, was leave that club that I'd spent over like a third of my life in. And shortly after, a guy reached out to me. The club that he had always said he was affiliated with, they heard that he was saying that he had been with them, and apparently he had never even been a hang around. He was like
Damn.
showed up one or two times. They told me, they said, you can tell him to shut his mouth or we'll shut it. And I told him, I was like, listen, I'm not affiliated with those guys anymore. You go shut his fucking mouth. I don't care. But yeah, he had a brother a club brother that was living with him because he was going through some shit with his wife. They were trying to fix it. Came back to the house, and turns out the dude had been touching a brother's kid,
Damn.
and touching his own fucking kids.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah. And
That's intense, bro.
took
That's
a lot
fucked
to
up.
not fucking go over there and blow his brains out, because
Yeah,
I
no doubt.
immediately panicked. I'm asking my kids, I'm like, hey, that motherfucker's never been alone with you, right? I need you to tell me right now, has this ever happened? Has this ever happened? And of course my kids are like, no. Why? What would have happened? We're like, nothing. I'm just not to freak you out. I was just checking. You go back to what you were doing. I got this. And I don't know, man. He's on the run now. He was awaiting a fucking jury trial later this year because they were supposed to cut a deal, and he
Mhm.
took off and disappeared. So
Oh, damn. They should
yeah,
have put
fuck
an
that
ankle monitor
motherfucker.
on him.
Should have put some fucking concrete blocks on him and dropped him in a
That's
lake, but
facts. That's facts.
that's something else. Yeah.
So I saw a video not too long ago about how your mom doesn't like your tattoos or something like that. Are you done getting tattooed, or are you getting any more?
I am 100% not done getting tattooed. It's not that my mom doesn't like my tattoos. She just, like I said, I dropped out of school. I had done some time and shit because I was a fucking bad kid. I made it clear I was getting tattoos. It didn't matter how smart I was. I'm getting
Mhm.
tattoos. And like her request was, okay, well, don't get anything like below your t-shirt line that you couldn't like put a shirt on and cover up.
Yeah.
So naturally, that was my first tattoo on my forearm. It says, "I'm right here with you." I got it from my son when he was born.
Oh, that's awesome.
But she, she hated it. She didn't hate it. Once she found out it was for her grandson, she was like, "Oh, well, that's really cool. I wish you'd have gotten it up higher." But she keeps changing it every time. Then it was like, "Well, you could cover your tattoos up with a long sleeve t-shirt. Don't get anything on your hands." Which of course my hands are fucking whatever.
Covered.
So then she was like, "Well, don't get anything on your neck or your face." And my fucking neck is done
It's covered.
all the way around. All the way around. The
Are you gonna
last
get something on
place
the
I've got,
face?
probably.
Are you going to turn into another wrecking ball, Bob? Is that what we're going to see here?
No, okay. If I get anything on my face, it's gonna be like off to the side. I'm not gonna do like Pigpen or Bob and get it like straight in the middle. I'm gonna get it.
Was ridiculous.
I'm gonna get it off to the sides. That way I can, it's there, but it's not like taken away from my beautiful smile.
So, since you're so heavy in the motorcycle community, do you think we'll ever see another patch on Hammy's back one day?
I'd like to think so. Um, I'm not as big in the community as I used to be. Uh, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of companies. I know a lot of clubs. I still associate with a lot of guys, some more than others. But I would like to be able to get to a point one day where financially I can afford to be in a club again, where physically, like health wise, I can do so without worrying that I'm gonna fucking pass out and die on the side of the road.
Mhm.
I fucking miss it, dude. Um, I miss the just having somebody there, having actual brotherhood, and yeah, I 100% would love for that again.
So, we've seen you do a lot of beard styles over the years. Do you have a favorite one?
My chops. Uh,
I miss when you did the chops. The chops were badass, not gonna lie.
Dude, I rocked chops for the longest time, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The only reason I don't have them right now is because I was getting healthy, and part of getting healthy is putting on weight, and I put on a fucking
Relatable.
shitload of weight. Um, and so now it's at that point where, like, if I've got chops and I look down, there's like a fucking pancake hanging under my neck, and I'm like, no, I'll cover that up with beard, and we'll go with that. I'm
That's
I'm
funny.
good with that.
My mic just broke, so I'm gonna hold it. um, so you're talking about your son. Like, what's it like for you being a father and watching him grow up?
Oh, it hurts, man. It fucking hurts. Not necessarily in a bad way. Um, like he's taller than my wife now. Uh, which is, she's 4'10", so that's not really that hard to do. Um, but like he's just so smart, and both of my kids are smart. I love my son and my daughter both, and getting to watch them both grow up and seeing them, the people that they're turning into is awesome, and knowing that, hey, I have a hand in that. The part that sucks about that is I'm a piece of shit. I got a lot of sarcasm. I say
Mhm.
shitty stuff. My daughter, she picks up on that. So like now she's at that point where everything she says is sarcastic, or there's like a sassy tone to it, and it just
Mhm.
makes you love her so much.
You
And
said, "Hey, I
my,
have a hand in that." Would you want your son to follow in your footsteps?
absolutely not. He's 100 times smarter than I am, than I will ever be, and I want better for my kids than I have. I want my kids to make better choices than I made.
If you could go back and tell your younger self something, or like, or share something with your kid, what would you want it to be?
Oh God. Um, I would go back and I would tell my younger self, hey, there is fucking 8 billion people on this planet. Your soulmate does not live in the same fucking town as you that you grew up in. She currently lives in Cheyenne, Wyoming. It's about 1,000 miles away. You're gonna have to make a hell of a trip to go fucking find it. But yeah, that's what I would tell me. Like, don't fucking waste your time with shitty people that live local, and find what's really yours and fucking go get it and save on lost time.
Who or what inspires Hammy?
Oh God. So a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. I have a sister. I didn't have any brothers growing up.
Mhm.
But I had cousins that were really close, and my cousin Jeremy, who he passed away when he was 18. But when I was a kid, um, like that was everything I wanted to be. Was my taste in music. The fact that I still love like Nirvana, the Sex Pistols, like really hardcore grunge bands, Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
is because of him. That dude inspired a lot of I feel the way that I am. The reason why I love things that I love, like old cars, motorcycles, tattoos, why I play the guitar, why I, do a lot of stuff that I do.
If you could sit and have a conversation with anybody, dead or alive, family, celebrity, doesn't matter, who would it be?
Probably him. To be completely honest, I was a kid when he passed away, and I mean I was 10, 11 ish. He was 18. I would absolutely love to talk to him today, just to tell him what I've been through, what I've been doing, and find out, what he would have become, what he would have done. I think that would have been awesome.
So, what brought you to social media?
Dumb luck. I I got on TikTok because somebody sent me a fucking retarded video of like a squirrel water skiing or a cat playing the keyboard or some shit, and I couldn't watch it unless I made an account. So I made a TikTok account to watch this fucking video. And then I was like, well, I'm fucking retarded. I'll make videos too. And eventually it took off.
So, where and how can people follow you?
You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Xbox, Discord, Twitch, anywhere. If you search JS Davis 923, my name is the same on everything. I have always been JS Davis 923. 923 was my my number in the fire department, and JS Davis is my name and my last name, Jonathan Shane Davis. It fits.
So, I was deep diving the other day. Is the homesteading podcast still a thing?
It is. We're on a little bit of a break. Not a lot of homesteading stuff goes on in the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I had some issues with my eye and all of that. So me and the Fuller Homestead, my buddy Brian Fuller, we still have a podcast. We haven't shot an episode in about 5-6 months because things have been slow, but we're still doing it. Yeah.
I see you make videos about your wife. Shout out Cole, by the way. She's awesome. How did you all meet?
TikTok.
Really? That's awesome.
She was kind of, listen, I'm going to get close because she's not here. I sent her off on she's hanging out with her friends, but she was like a groupie, right? Like she was obsessed with me when I was slimmer and whatever on TikTok and was coming up. And she sent me a message. It was before I was even going through my divorce, and said something. And I just started talking with her. And we talked every day for the longest time. And I told her, I was like, listen, I don't know about long distance relationships. I know you're fucking 1,000, 2,000 miles away. But I just said it to her really dumb. I was like, you want to be my girlfriend? And she laughed and whatever. I told sorry, I get really excited when I talk about my wife. I love my wife so fucking much. I went out and there's another content creator, Geek, who was living in Colorado at the time.
Shout out Geek, that's my dude.
I was going out there to see Geek, and she was like a couple hours north of him. So I got on my bike, which it was already planned to go see her. It was already planned to go see Geek. I just made them into one trip.
That's awesome.
And it was pouring ass rain. I got on my fucking Electroglide while it was dumping, and I rode straight to fucking Arvada, Colorado to Geek, and hung out with him for a couple of days. And all my leather was soaked. All my clothes were soaked. Everything was fucking wet. And I thought it would dry out in the fucking mountain air, and it didn't. So I hung out with Geek, and I told him, I was like, hey, I'm going to go meet with this chick. I've been talking to her on TikTok for the last like couple of months. I'm going to go see if she's legit. Make sure that she's not like a serial killer, and I'm not going to end up in a fucking suitcase in a field somewhere. And of course he was like, I'll call you, blink twice if you need whatever. No, and then I took off riding. It was like 70 degrees in Colorado when I left, and all my clothes are still wet, and it was like 28, 26 degrees when I got to her house in fucking Wyoming. I was frozen to the bone. But I just knew, man, like I just knew that like that was it. She was my person. And I stayed for 2 weeks and it absolutely killed me to come home. I came home for a couple of weeks and then I turned around and went back. And then I was making that trip every month, sometimes twice a month for the next year and a half, 2 years, until late 2022, maybe. Yeah. Uh, and she moved, we got her to move out here and we got married on November 3rd, 2023. We share a house, our kids, like it's absolutely great. That woman is everything in my life. I owe absolutely everything to her. She has saved my life in ways that I don't think she fucking realizes. 'Cause there are, I'm a fucking man, dude. I'll be completely honest with you. I get sad. There's days where I don't want to fucking get out of bed. There's days where I'm like, dude, it is not worth it for me to fucking even be here. And I can look at that woman and know that somebody at some point thought I was fucking worth it and to get off of my fucking ass and do something with it. And she did that for me. And I will never be able to repay that woman. I love her more than anything. That's my person. That's my wife. And there will never be one like her. I love her.
That kind of leads into our next question.
Fuck.
When the cameras aren't on and you're not making content or anything, who is Hammy? What can we usually find you doing?
Fuck. When the cameras aren't on and content's not being made, Hammy is fucking boring, bro. when content's not being made, I'm sitting on the couch watching TV, or I'm working in the yard, or I'm at work, or I'm playing Xbox, or I'm not as exciting as I make it out to be online. No content creator is. None. Nobody lives an absolutely crazy whatever rock star lifestyle. So I may do some crazy shit for a video, I may whatever, but life is not always like that. It is I am just like everybody else. I enjoy my free time, I enjoy my toys, I enjoy spending time with my family. I love tattoos, music, and motorcycles, and that's that. You can find me doing something. Just not always.
You said you like TV and video games. What kind of TV shows are you usually into? What are you usually watching?
So when I was a kid, I was really I was a Olympic qualified sharpshooter. I was in 4-H shooting sports. Went to YHEC, the International YHEC, which is a Youth Hunter Education Challenge. I was also really into survival, like bushcraft and things like that. So I'm a bitch for survival shows like Naked and Afraid, Extracted, Alone. I watch the shit out of stuff like that, and I make my wife watch it with me.
Hammy, the world loves you, but we don't want to see you naked and afraid, sir.
Listen, you asked for real, true, authentic Hammy for this video, and everything in me was like, I don't have to put pants on. I'm gonna tell you right now, I have pants on. They're sweatpants, but you damn near got my naked ass sitting here like.
Oh, I'm only in sweatpants too, so.
Right.
You said you like video games. What do you like to play? What do you usually got?
So we're gonna get really nerdy here. My all-time favorite game series is Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
I have played those games since I was fucking like 4 or 5 years old, whatever. Right now, dude, I'm playing a lot of Fortnite right now. A lot of Fortnite and Call of Duty.
I love Call of Duty.
A lot of I play a little stuff like Kingdom Come Deliverance and stuff like that. But mainly right now I'm really focusing on shooters. I play Grand Theft Auto, everybody does, Red Dead Redemption, but is what it is.
What is Outlaw Origins?
So, Outlaw Origins. So when I left the club I was in and it shut down, there were two other chapters in the state that shut down. And a bunch of guys walked away from the mother chapter, and of course, three other states shut down. They lost 60, 70 members overnight and had less than 10, 15 left. Those true brothers I've got, we were trying to figure out something. We were trying to put it out like, hey, maybe not necessarily a motorcycle club, maybe a riding club or a social club, but we want to do something that keeps us all tied together, with either a patch or as an organization. And we came up with Outlaw Origins. Now, granted, it evolved because we ended up not starting a club out of it because it just didn't seem right. There's a lot of hoops to jump through. We talked to some people about getting approval, and they made a counter offer, and that sounded really good, but it didn't happen. So then it became a YouTube channel name because we were going to be Outlaw Origins TV. We were going to interview guys in the MC community and talk to them about whatever. And
show to Outlaw Origins, follow them.
The channel's still there. It kind of fell apart though. We all, in our newfound freedom, not being in clubs and getting to spend time with our families and actually focus on work, we didn't have the time to do much else. So that it didn't really get to happen the way we thought it would. Now, I still love the name. I'm working on something else in the works that's going to use that name that can't talk about, but you might see later at some point. But yeah, that's what it was.
What is Hammy's homestead?
My homestead is the low dollar blue collar homestead located about 10 feet that way. A garden, have chickens and animals, and just something to keep busy. I'm nowhere near being self-sufficient, whatever, but it's nice.
So when you're at work or working around the house or anything, do you have a favorite power tool company to use?
I am a fucking DeWalt man.
Yes, let's go.
Or as we like to say in the South, DeWalt. But no, man, I'm a fucking DeWalt guy. Milwaukee's cool. Yeah, buddy. Milwaukee's cool, but I don't have Milwaukee money. I barely have DeWalt money. So
Real cool do you wonders.
Right. That's my brand. Power tools, it's DeWalt. Hand tools, it's Klein. Klein makes really good hand tools. Those would be my go-to. Yeah.
I see you promoting a lot of different clothing lines. Like, do you have deals with these guys, or like, how does that all work?
So some of them I do. I promote Brunt Workwear a lot. That's my biggest. It's my biggest sponsor. Brunt Workwear is the one company. It's probably one of the largest that I support. But that they treat me like I'm somebody. When I went in for eye surgery, they reached out without me having to reach out to them to make sure I was okay. And I don't make a penny off of whatever people I send to them. They send me, if I need a pair of boots or clothes or whatever, or I want to try something out, they'll send it to me and I promote it. That's how that works. Greasy Hand Society. I have a discount code with them. All my discount codes are normally for 10% to cover your sales tax, and it's always Hammy 10. Bastard Clothing Company. Same kind of deal. I don't make a penny. Well, if I was able to push more of their stuff, I would get commission, but I'm not really in it to get commission. I'm in it to help clothing brands grow. So my homie, he just started Smash Side Motorcycle Company Manufacturing. It's clothing brand. I've got it on the link tree in my bio. It's a little bit more raw and edgy than what most people are ready for. But I 100% support that company and everything that they make. And I don't make a penny off of that. He has offered multiple times, and that's not why I do what I do. I want to see my fellow man. I want to see my brother, my whatever grow. I want to see his company grow and his business grow, because if he succeeds, then I've succeeded.
So, as I said, I've watched you for a long time, and I deep dived a lot of your stuff the other day. I've seen you rock so many different hats. How many hats do you have in your collection?
Probably 200.
That's crazy work.
I had a fucking clothing company business. I made hats. If I wanted a new hat, I made a hat. Or if I had a stupid idea, like, I don't know, you could literally think of anything. Somebody hit me up one day and said something about banging dimes and snorting lines, whatever. And I put it on a hat that night. Like, it literally took me 2 hours from the time it was said to me to the time I made a design and cut it out and put it on a hat. My wife hates it. I have boxes and cabinets and hat racks full of fucking hats, and I don't wear most of them anymore, but I fucking got them.
You and I gotta talk personally. I want to get something personally from you, like, and I want it signed from Hammy.
Like a nude photo or like a...
No, I just want you to make something like custom from you to me at some point.
I got you. I got something for you.
All right, we'll talk personally off here.
I got you.
All right. What is my next question? Oh, can you tell us about how the pickup got stolen and how you got it back?
Oh my God. So, hold on. If we're going to do this, I'm going to see if I can move. I need a cigarette because this is we're on a Manscaped podcast.
Here, I don't care.
Awesome. What I can't do is smoke in my house. So,
okay.
I'm going to take you on a journey with me and hope that it doesn't lag the camera.
We're going to dive into the pickup stuff.
Okay. Oh, there's the sunlight. That sucks. Okay.
Oh, it's dark here already.
Oh yeah, no, it's not quite yet. My truck got stolen because I'm a fucking retard. Yeah. What was that? That was 2 years ago.
Already? Wow.
We had the solar eclipse, right? And I was at work, my wife was at work. We went outside to watch the eclipse. Sat on the tailgate of my truck. I threw my work stuff in the cab and I threw my keys in the seat. And some guy watched me throw my keys in the truck seat. And as soon as we walked back in, he walked over, got in my truck, put the key in the ignition, and drove off.
Wow. So how'd you end up getting it back?
So my wife's boss was a cop. And apparently he was really good at finding shit. And I still don't believe in talking to cops or whatever, but that dude found my truck. It took him a couple of days and then called me. And I thought it was off the record. Like, I thought I was going to get to beat somebody's ass and get my fucking truck back.
Right.
But it told me where it was, and I didn't have a vehicle, of course. So I told my homie Joe, my brother at work, and I was like, "Hey man, they found my truck." And he was like, "Let's fucking go." So we're grabbing handguns and shit and loading them like we're going to get my fucking truck. Yeah. We're pulling this fucking driveway and the cop is sitting there and I was like, "Oh shit. Okay. No, never mind. We're whatever." And there was my fucking truck sitting spray painted, like they spray painted like plasti dip all over it. It was black. And they tore a bunch of shit out. They ripped the radio out, all the speakers. Had no fucking gas in the tank. Like, they tore that truck apart.
Damn.
And I'm trying to get it back to where it was.
What'd you say they used on it to cover it black?
Like, not plasti dip.
I thought it was spray paint.
Oh my God. Well, it was in a spray can like spray paint, but it's some what's the shit the dude puts a boat back together with the like it's
Okay, I
Flex
know.
Seal.
Flex Seal, yeah.
Yeah. They spray painted it black with fucking Flex Seal.
So what did you use to get all that off?
Oh my god, gasoline, acetone, steel wool, fucking everything. It took so much work to get all that black shit off of that fucking truck. But for the most part, I got it off, and I left a little bit of it to deter future crackheads from stealing my truck, because nobody's gonna steal a piece of shit truck. So I left some black on there. Yeah.
So since it was sitting in the driveway, did they arrest the homeowner or what happened?
They arrested the homeowner, which wasn't the guy who stole the truck. They got him a couple of days later on some different charges. But
wow.
Yeah, they arrested the two guys. The one guy got theft by receiving. So technically nobody got charged for stealing it, but yeah.
So since we're talking about vehicles, why do you hate your wife's car?
Because it's a piece of shit. Because Guatney Chevrolet sold her a fucking lemon and wouldn't do anything about it because it said as is in the fucking contract, and she bought a car that the rear main seal was out in, that they didn't know the rear main seal was out in, that the year model 2016 of the Chevrolet Equinox is a piece of shit, and the rear main seal goes out in quite a lot. Yeah, that's why I hate it. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, because I always see you making videos and ranting about how much you hate your wife's car.
It is trash. My whole family, my mom, my sister, my aunt, my dad, they all have the exact same car in different year models. And when her car sank, she got caught in a flash flood and it ripped her off the road into a fucking river. So her Ford Edge or Ford Escape, I don't remember what it was, it sank and she needed a car, and they took her to the same place they got theirs, and she bought that fucking hunk of junk. Yeah.
So when you're out riding or even just driving around, what does your playlist look like?
Everything. Absolutely everything. I'll go from listening to fucking Tupac Amaru Shakur, like fucking to Tyler Childers, and then bounce around to some fucking Chapel Roan. I'm really big into like dark country and folk kind of whatever music. Still love like good old Seattle grunge rock. A lot of metal, a lot of screamo shit, and I've been getting really into these fucking like dark metal rappers and stuff lately. Stuff like, well, kind of like Diggy Graves. A lot of good artists out there like that.
Man, you posted a video, I think it was like a few weeks ago or so, a month ago, something like that. It was the Pink Pony Club video you did. Bro, I laughed out loud when I seen that. You rocking out the Pink Pony Club? I was done.
That's my fucking song, dude. Don't make fun of my song, all right?
And by the way,
I started listening to it as a joke, and I listened to it so much it got stuck in my head that I probably don't go a day without listening to fucking Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing. Yeah,
the Pink Pony Club. That song is catchy as fuck. I'm not gonna lie though.
That's my song.
And also, I noticed you can't be left unsupervised in a doctor's office or dentist's office, whatever it is.
I'll touch all the
play with everything.
Yep, 100%. If I need Band-Aids, I'll go to the doctor's office and I'll find some. I'll play with all the fucking tools every time. Doesn't matter if it's the eye doctor, the dentist, the regular doctor. I'll mess with all their shit.
Man, you don't get kid in the candy store at the doctor's office. I swear to God.
Dude, I'm like a kid anywhere I go. When we were in Hobby Lobby this morning, there was a woman with her kids with her, and my homie Joey sent me a fucking snap and said something about vibrators, and it was really fucking loud, like around these kids. And my wife's freaking the fuck out, like, what? And I was already dancing and grinding on her and doing whatever the fuck I wanted. But yeah, I got in trouble. It happens.
Can you please make a video series embarrassing the wife?
Oh, absolutely. That's content every day for the next like 40 years until I die. I
The
know that
world would
woman
love to
loves
see
me,
that.
but I also think she hates me.
Speaking of content and stuff, when you're just scrolling your FYP and whatnot, like who do you follow? Like, what does your FYP look like?
I follow a lot of the guys from the nation I support. I follow a lot of big biker talk creators still. It's not the same as what it was fucking 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But there's still guys out there doing the thing, still living that lifestyle. Doing it more so now that I can't, or I'm not as able to in the respect that I want to. I get to see a lot of those guys doing it. I follow a lot of music artists, and then I follow a lot of dumb pages that just make me happy, like Justin Nunley or Ricky and
I
the
like that
Boss.
guy.
I follow those guys because they make me laugh.
Who's your favorite band or artist?
My favorite what artist? Favorite
Your
band
favorite
or artist?
band
Okay.
or artist?
Okay. I mean,
Or who do you listen to the most?
Pink Pony Club, duh, fucking
Let's
Chapel
go.
Roan. I don't know. I all-time favorite has to be the White Buffalo. Which coincidentally he did a lot of the soundtracks for Sons of Anarchy.
I was just gonna say
But
that.
I was listening to him before that. Like he's got so much good music. And I love him because he's one of those guys you can feel the fucking pain in his voice when he sings.
Mhm.
Like he's not a guy singing about shit. He's a guy telling you a story and you can feel the emotion and the lifestyle in his lyrics that he's telling you experiences he's been through. He's not just singing about shit to sing about shit.
So you were saying earlier in our interview that you love food. When Hammy's cooking, are we more likely to find you in the kitchen or on the barbecue?
Depends. I fucking kill it on the grill. I'm a master of my meat, if you know what I'm talking about. I make a badass steak. I make badass shit on the stove too, though. I'm really bad about. I cook meat and potatoes for fucking every meal that I cook, though.
Let's
Like
go. Nothing
somebody
wrong with
just
meat and
died.
potatoes. Is that what that
Um,
was? I heard that.
Yeah,
I didn't even know what it was.
neighbors fucking having a bonfire and they're cutting their yard and shit. No, dude, I'm really bad about like I fry shit or I cook steak and mashed potatoes or I make
Mhm.
spaghetti. That's my go-to. That's what I do.
So when you're out and about and you're just like grabbing food somewhere, what's your favorite place or spot to go?
Whatever is the cheapest or I have a coupon for. I ate Subway like fucking 10 days in a row because they had that buy one, get one foot long shit for
Oh,
like an
yes.
entire month. So I'd get a sandwich and I got my wife a sandwich. And I did that every day for like a fucking month. Um,
Um, I see you kind of sometimes like say little stuff from men and stuff like that in your videos. Can you give any kind of tip for all the men out there?
don't give up. It is not easy being a man. By the way, that's what it's like living in the South in the country hick shit. They're just shooting shit to shoot shit. Um, don't give up because no matter how dark shit may seem, there is somebody that depends on you. There is somebody that loves you, and they need you here more than you need to not be here. So no matter what you're going through, it is okay to talk about shit. It is okay to have fucking feelings and emotions. It's okay to fucking cry. That doesn't make you any less of a man than it does anything. And you are 100% in your rights to be that man. Just
So
don't
mhm.
stop.
So speaking of man tips, Hammy, have you ever used a ruler?
Oh God, yeah.
Is there really
Yeah.
hurt feelings up top?
Listen, ain't nothing but hurt feelings up top. You go underneath. It was me and H-Town Loki did that. Ain't nothing but hurt feelings there. You you don't ever measure up top. Never. Especially as you get fatter. Don't measure up top.
I think that was one of my all-time favorite videos you did. So I see you and Wrecking Ball Bob go back and forth all the time. You want to take an opportunity right here to talk some shit?
Absolutely. Let me run back in the house so that the sounds of the South and the rednecks don't fucking drown out my statement about Wrecking Ball Bob.
I'll post it. Make sure he sees it too.
Oh, he'll see it. The main thing I want to point out about Wrecking Ball Bob that most people don't understand, and this is not at all going to be what you think it is. Wrecking Ball Bob is my fucking friend. And when we have a back and forth on social media, it is nothing more than us talking shit to each other because that's like a love language. That's how we communicate as friends. I would do anything that man ever asked me to do. And I sleep easy at night knowing that if I called him and I said, "Hey, dude, I've got something going on. I fucking need you," he'd be here. So for the people that fucking message me when we have a fake back and forth and they're like, "Yeah, man, fuck Wrecking Ball Bob. You tell that dude what's up." Fuck you. That's my friend. Nothing we're doing is fucking real. And yeah, I'm not even gonna talk shit about him. He's gonna tell me I'm fucking gay or something for saying all this, but like I will do anything for that dude. Absolutely anything. And none of it's serious. And if you sit there and you talk shit about Wrecking Ball Bob to me, you're allowed to have your own opinion. I'm not going to fault you for it. Just know I don't share that opinion. I may not agree with everything he does or says, but that is still my fucking dude. So, yeah.
Wrecking Ball Bob, if you ever see this, want to get on the podcast, hit us up. We'll be glad to have you. What can we expect to see in the future from Hammy?
Well, fuck, I don't know. I can't even see out of one eye. I damn sure can't see the future. I don't know, man. I'm hoping all this eye surgery shit, my health gets better. I really want to get back into fucking riding and be more active in the motorcycle community like I used to be. I want to get back into the fucking lifestyle and into clubs. I support and I show up for guys the best that I can. It is not the way that I want to, but it's the way that I'm able to right now. And I think that hurts as much, if not more than anything, because I used to be so big into it, because I was, not that I was a big deal, but because I was able to show my support and my love through my actions. And I'm not at that point where I can do it like that anymore. But that's what I would like to see. I would like to be able to get back to where I was and be that fucking guy.
I remember at one time you said you had to sell your bike to pay some shit off. Did that end up happening? Did you end up selling the bike?
I didn't end up selling it. I had some medical bills and some shit come up, and I was kind of panicking about money, and the only way I saw myself getting out of it was selling my fucking bike and paying it off so that I could get it done. And my wife was the person that was like, "Listen, we'll fucking figure a way out of this. Like, it's, the medical bills aren't going anywhere. You get rid of that fucking bike. It may be whatever and not running right now, but I love you. I'm not ready to see you be that fucking sad because you don't have your motorcycle anymore. So don't get rid of that bike. We'll figure it out." And we did just that.
So you still riding? Like, you still got it? You still riding?
I still got it. I'm not still riding. It needs some work. I get out and work on it every once in a while, and then I go a couple of miles to figure out something else is wrong that needs to get fixed. And I'm not at a point like financially where I can just fucking dump money into it, or I could buy another bike. So that kind of kills me in the community. But I'm still that guy. Yeah.
So will we ever see Hammy fully back up on twos?
Oh, absolutely. Here in the near future, I'm hoping. Before the end of this year. Yeah.
I'm kind of running out of questions. Is there anything else you kind of like to share or talk about?
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like we've covered a lot. We've been at this for what, an hour and God, Jesus.
Almost an hour
Okay.
and a half.
Yeah.
You,
I don't know,
I
man.
assume you watched Jerry Springer before, right?
Oh God, yeah.
You want to give us Hammy's final thought?
I don't listen. I'm not about to get all political and shit and scare a bunch of your fucking followers and stuff off and then be like, wow, I really enjoyed that guy's interview. And then he said something. Fuck that guy. So my final thought is no matter what you do, fucking be you. Always be righteous, never be wrong. Stand firm in your fucking beliefs and be the best that you can fucking be. Don't ever back down or submit to anyone. Never stop trying to be better than the person you were yesterday.
Man, I just want to take a minute before we close out and just be like, I want to thank you for really giving us your time and your energy tonight and spending some time just hanging out and really chopping it up and letting us learn more about who you are. And it's been an absolute pleasure. And I hope, like, anytime you need something, you always have a spot at our table, and as things grow and things happen, I hope to have you back here again in the future, learn more. If you're doing something, we can help promote whatever it is you want to do, my guy.
I appreciate the shit out of that. And I hope you know the same goes for you, brother. Like everything you've done, if you reached out, even before you've reached out, I support what you've got going on. And I mean, this is no different. Like, it was absolutely my fucking pleasure to be here. I thank you guys for having me and for letting me sit here and fucking bore people for the last hour and a half and just talk shit.
It's been a pleasure. I've loved it. Man, no homo. We got nothing but love for you, Hammy.
Same to you guys, man.
Anyways, y'all, I'll put everything down below so y'all can go follow Hammy. Bro, I hope you have an absolute night. Go enjoy and spend some time with the family. Much love,
All right,
my
brother.
guy. We'll see you soon.